I want to show you guys how we can write SQL code in this video, and I'm referring to those people who are into data analysis or even core software developers, people who are into coding. You would like to know how those type of stuff are really written. And I'm not doing this just for the people who may like to be using something like GUI to be able to create databases or do things of that particular nature. So I'm referring to people that as they write their software, they may type a few lines of a SQL code. Like for an example, this is an example of a SQL code right here. It says select all from users, which is basically going to select all the entries into this particular table called the users. All right. So that's just basically what I want to do in this video. And I would like to do that. I want to open up my XAMPP right here because I want to go to my SQL PHP, my admin, and try to use the SQL interface to be able to type the lines of code I want to type and then run it right there. So if you have XAMPP, you need to open your XAMPP and then turn on your Apache server and your MySQL. And if you get that turned on, you can just open up your browser and you can go to localhost /php my admin, and it's going to open up your php my admin interface for you. All right, so we do have this right here, and what I want to do is I want to go to this particular tab where we have SQL, and that's going to open up an interface where you should be able to write your SQL code. And once you are done, you can hit on go to run the application. So for us to proceed from here, I would like to create a database that we're going to just be working with throughout this video. So to do that in SQL, the language says you have to type this word called create, and you can just do database, and you can go ahead and then name the database right here. All right, so let's say we're going to just create a database that I'm going to just call CodeKinder, and this becomes our database name. We can terminate this line, and then we can hit on where we have go right here. And if we do not have a database named CodeKinder right here, is just basically going to create. But if we have that, it's going to give us an error. So I think I do have this already, and it's not going to basically create. So if we hit on go, we're going to get an error. It's going to basically tell us that that particular database already exists. If you take a look down here, it says create database, CodeKinder database already exists. So we need to change this particular name to something that we do not actually have already right here. So to do that, I'm going to just do CodeKinder underscore test. So let's differentiate this with an underscore right there. And if we hit on go, that's just basically going to create. If you check here, you would see that we have that being created, and then we can take a look at it from here where we do have CodeKinder test right here, and that means that a database has been just basically created for us. All right, so we can also delete that if we want to do that. So what's the query to deleting the database? If we want to delete the database, we can just do drop, and I'm going to just say database, and then we can go ahead and then name the database that we want to basically drop. All right, so this is going to be CodeKinder underscore test. Terminate that, and then if we hit on go right here, you see that that particular database has been deleted. Let's create a new one right here. All right, so if we go to so if we go to SQL right here, and I want to create a new database right here. So we will have to just type that same stuff right here. We've already seen this. So this is going to be database, and you can go ahead and say Benkino as database name right here. And then we can go ahead and then hit on go. And we're going to work with Benkino throughout this video that we're working on right here. All right. So what are we going to do? We have learned how to create a database and also delete a database. Now the next thing is to move on to creating something like a table, so that we would be able to maybe insert a data into a table, and also if we want to delete data that is actually inserted into a table, we can also do that. A table is basically is a room inside of a house. So let's begin to look at a database that we have in here called Benkino as the whole house. But now we want to create rooms inside of that particular house that we have in here called Benkino. So to create my own room in here, we should just make sure that this particular Benkino is actually selected. Make sure maybe you click on it or something of that nature, and then you can go to the SQL tab right here. So this is basically the ID for this, or the token for this right here. So you want to check right here where it says something like run SQL query on database Benkino to make sure that you are actually on the right database. So I want to create a table right here. Let's say we're going to create a table that is just basically going to be called the customers. So the SQL code for that is just say create table, and you want to go ahead and then name the table right here. All right, so you just say create table, and what's the name of the table? So let's say this is going to be customers. All right, so we're going to have to throw in that particular brackets in there, and we can terminate this right here. Now within this, we want to create a couple of things in here right now, and that's just basically going to be the columns and the rows that would like this particular table to have. All right, so to do that, I want to first create an ID. So that's going to be an ID. And if you create that as a column, there are some properties you may want to give to this. An example could be the data type. You want to give this a data type, and I'm going to just basically use an integer. All right. So if I do int right here, that specifies the file that is just basically going to be an integer. And I wouldn't like to, and I wouldn't like this to ever be something like an empty. So we can just do something like not null right here for that particular line in there. And it's just going to make sure that that is never going to be null. All right. So I want to separate that with a comma because there are some other fields I would like to create. And let's say that we are going to have something like a first name, and you can go ahead and just do that right here. So this is going to be first underscore name that, and we want to go ahead and also specify the data type. So I'm going to just do a varchar right here, and this varchar simply refers to variable characters. So what's the size of the varchar that we basically want to allow in here? Let's say we're going to allow just the maximum. We can do something like 255 in there, and that's just basically going to be fine. And the next thing I want to create right here, I just basically want to separate this with a comma, and I'll copy this line, and down here I want to go ahead and paste that. And let's say I'm going to just use something like last name. So let's change this to last, and we can set it to the same value down here. And the next one is actually, let's say this is going to be an email. So I'm going to just do email right here, and you can, if you want to use the same thing, that's still fine right there. And the next one I want to create is, let's say we're going to have a phone number in here. So I'm going to just do phone, and you can go ahead and still use maybe the same varchar. And what I want to do right here is to go ahead and we can just still set that to 255. You can set this to any other value that you would like to basically use. All right, so if we go ahead and then run this code right here, this is just basically going to create the table called the customers, and with all of these columns right here. But there is a couple of things you may like to do right here. So the first thing is, if we run this and then we try to insert some data, these particular items, they're just basically going to get populated. And when we try to insert a new data, you see that the first one will come in, but then the second one will also come in, but it's not going to be auto incrementing. So we basically would like to set this first value right here to auto increment. And if we want to do that, it's really very simple. All we need to do is to add an additional configuration right here called auto underscore increment. And I would also like to make sure that this first particular ID right here is basically set to the primary key. So we can get down here and we can just do primary key, and the primary key I would like to use right here is just basically going to be this ID right here. So I'm going to just do ID right there. So that's just the thing, and I think we missed the comma right here. Let's put a comma so that the error here will go away. So if we run this right here, the way that it is here, it's going to basically create that particular table called the customers. Inside of this, the database called the Benkino. So let's hit on go. And as you can see, we have no errors. So the table has been created called the customers. Hit on it. We're going to see that it's been created because if you go to structure right here, it displays this, and then you can see this icon right here where we do have this particular key right here, key icon, showing that that's just basically going to be the primary key, and it's basically going to be auto incrementing. As we can see the extras right here. That way, if you insert our first data, it's going to come in as the first item, and then the second one is going to come in as the number 2. So this is just basically how we can create our first table using SQL. If we want to insert, we can also do that. Of course, this can be done manually, but our major focus today is to see how we can just do that with our SQL code. So let's go to this tab where we'll have SQL, and then we can go ahead and then write our lines of a code to be able to insert the data into the database right here, into this particular table called customers right here. So the SQL for inserting a new data into a table, we're going to just do insert, and you should make sure that this particular table is really selected. So if you're not quite sure, you can just go to your table, your database name, and then hit on your table name, and it's going to get that selected. All right, and then you can also check where we have something like run, query, on table Benkino, and this is the table right here, the table Benkino.customers. So they're just simply referring to the table called the customers. So let's do insert, and we're going to just do into, and we want to mention the table name. So this is going to be customers, all right? So you are saying insert into table customers, and you want to specify the columns that are really present in there. And if you want to do that, this is going to be very simple. Of course, we did have first name in there, and we'll have last name, we'll have an email, and then the phone number. So let's try to specify those right here. So this is called the first underscore name, and you want to make sure that you spell them correctly the way you spell them when you were creating the columns. So we do have first name, and the next one is actually going to be last name, and we're going to have an email, and the last one is actually going to be a phone number. Right, so this is just basically how that is just basically done. So you've spelled out the column's name. Now the next thing is to go ahead and insert the values that you want to insert against the first name, last name, email, and phone number. And you do that with this, say the values right here. So what's going to be the first thing? You want to go ahead and enter the person's first name. So let's say that my first name is actually going to be this name right here, and you separate that with a comma, and the next one is actually going to be my last name. So let's say that my last name is actually going to be this, so you separate that with a comma again, and you are now required to bring in the email. All right, so let's still put that in quotes, and this is going to be the Lord of Apps at gmail.com. Introduce a comma on the outside, and the next one is actually going to be the phone number. So let me go ahead and enter my phone number right here, and that's just basically the phone number that I would like to use. So if you want to insert multiple items, you can basically do that. You have to do that within these values right here. Let me separate this a little bit so that it can look a little bit more readable for you guys. So we can do this right here. So if we run this is just basically going to insert this particular first person right here. But if you want to add, let's say, more lines, you want to insert more persons into the database, we can just do that. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is just first of all see if I can basically insert this person the way that it is right now, just a single person right here. All right, so to do that, let's go ahead and hit on where we have a go right here. You can terminate this line before you run that, so let's put a terminating character right here, and then we can hit on go, and you see that we do not actually have any errors. So if we try to go to the browser right here, you see that that table has been created, and we did have Chijioke David, a lot of us at gmail.com, and then my phone number right here. All right, so let's see how we can insert multiple data at the same time. And if you want to do that, we can just go ahead. We should have actually copied that the whole code that we had earlier into the clipboard, but that's just fine. Let me just repeat that again. This is going to be insert into, and this is going to be customers, and I want to go ahead and then repeat those columns once more. All right, so this is going to be first name, we have last name, and we'll have an email, and we're going to have a phone number. So this is going to be phone number or phone, just the way we wrote it earlier. And down here, we'll just do values, and within the values attribute, I think I already have something copied to the clipboard. Let me paste that right here, and let's change the person's first name right here. Let's say this is going to be Adam, and this is going to be Kelvin, and let's change this email right here to Kevin. Let's make sure I type that correctly. This is going to be Kevin at Gmail, and we can change his phone number to whatever we want, but I'm going to just leave that right there. So however, what I want to show you is this is the first value right here, but if you want to insert multiple values, we can separate this with a comma. Let's get down here, paste what I already have in the clipboard, and we can go ahead and insert another person right here. So let's say Henry, and let's say Black, and we're going to just say maybe Henry B at gmail.com, and we can use the same phone number for him. But if you want to change that, we can just basically do that. But I just don't want to be showing a lot of phone number right here. So let's use this particular phone number right here. All right, we can terminate the character right here. And if you want more, if you want to add more, you can just simply put a comma right here, get down, add another person. But I just basically want to stop at these two right here. So when you get to the last item you want to enter, you can just simply terminate the last line right there. So this is how it is. These two persons are going to just basically get added, and that will be number 2 and number 3. So let's hit on go, and we do not have any errors. And let's go to the browse, and you see that we now have 3 persons inserted into the database. So this is basically the core way that one can just basically go ahead and then insert data into a table that is inside of the database that we have just fully created. So I'm going to just basically stop right here. If you like what is going on, you can just put a comment in the comment section. Maybe at a later time, we can also do update. For instance, if you want to update maybe the email address or the username or something of that nature, we can just basically do that. I'm talking about the first name or the last name right here. Of course, we do have an email section that we can maybe use to identify who is actually in the database, and they're just basically unique right here, even though we did not actually like strictly instruct that to be unique. But that's just fine. I can still show you how you can just basically update any column right here, and even how to delete a user that is already in the table. So go to the comment section if you are really interested in it. We can do that maybe in the next one. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.